Hi, FlossTube. My name is Sarah Brown. I thought I would take a minute to introduce myself. I am fairly new to the world of FlossTube. Just discovered it like 2 weeks ago, which is kind of crazy because I've been cross-stitching for as long as I can remember, just about. So, yeah, it showed up on my recommended list. I think it was Stitchin' Jewels was the first one that I found. And I just fell down the rabbit hole and have been watching FlossTube and stitching almost nonstop the last couple of weeks. Let's see, a little bit about myself. As I said, I've been cross-stitching for pretty much as long as I can remember. I started in early elementary school. My mom taught me how to stitch. I want to say I stitched a butterfly as my first project, and I gave it away as a gift, and I still mostly only stitch gifts. I don't really have any pieces that I've made for myself that are up on display in my house. I do have one piece that is on display in my house. It's something that I made for my husband when we were very first married. I stitched it during my lunch breaks. I found, it was a Looney Tunes cross stitch book that I found at a yard sale. And his favorite character is Foghorn Leghorn from Looney Tunes, so I saw this in the book and knew I had to have it to stitch it for him. This is the only piece I stitched from that book. I no longer have the book, so I don't even really know the name of it, but there were quite a few patterns in there. And then I found this frame, and it seemed perfect. I don't know where I got the frame at either. This was almost 18 years ago, so yeah, so this is the only piece that I actually have cross-stitched and displayed in my house, and I made it as a gift for my husband. So one of my goals is to create more cross-stitch pieces just for me. Before I talk about that, though, let me tell you a little bit about me. I am married. I've been married for, like I said, 18 years. We have one daughter who is a senior in high school. And that's gonna cause some changes come next year, but exciting. And we have 3 cats, 2 of which we adopted from a shelter quite a few years ago, and the third showed up on our porch a couple of months ago and has made herself at home. She was unfortunately dumped. We live out in the country, so we took her to the vet, got her shots, and she's moved in and is quite comfortable. Let's see, we also have a ball python, and my daughter and husband have recently got into tarantula husbandry, so we have 3 tarantulas and a dead leaf mantis also residing in our home. So yeah, full house full of pets and just a few people. And then I have a few hobbies. I'll talk about my hobbies a little bit because I am definitely a serial hobbyist. Cross-stitch, obviously, probably, I've been doing it for a long time, like I said. So that's been something that I've been doing off and on for, like I said, most of my life, sometimes more off than on. I've recently delved back into the world pretty heavily, so I'm excited about that. I also have done some quilting, beading, knitting, a little bit of crochet, big into paper crafting. For years and years and years, I was on design teams and creative teams for scrapbook companies and websites. So that's a big part of what I enjoy doing. I have a big hobby in tabletop gaming. I actually, along with my brother, started a tabletop gaming group in Northeast Arkansas, which is where I'm originally from. I live in Missouri now, but I'm originally from Northeast Arkansas. So we started a tabletop gaming group there. We have regular game days, and we've run a couple of conventions. I'm mostly a board gamer and role-playing gamer, but yeah, it's fun. I enjoy the social aspects of it and getting around a table and playing games with other people, and just having this hobby to share. And that's not something that I've been able to do as much with stitching. I would love to see that change, but as I said, I live out in the country, and there's not really a bunch of stitching stores. I used to have a couple of stitching stores that I used to go to when I lived in other areas. And right now, as far as I know, the closest stitching store to me is about 3 hours away. So, yeah, I have not been there, but it is on my list to visit the next time I find myself in that area. I think Memphis is probably the closest one to me. Unless there's something in St. Louis. I used to go to one in St. Charles, but it closed down a couple of years ago, sadly. And I actually spent a lot of time at that store when we lived in the St. Louis area. But yeah, right now the only option I have really close to me is Hobby Lobby. It is about 30 minutes away. There are Michael's and Joann's about 2 hours away from me, so that's at least some, you know, they're in places I go often enough that I can stop in there and do some shopping. But yeah, most stuff, if I want to order like specialty fabrics or threads or anything like that, then I'm gonna have to do it online or travel to do so. So yeah, that is what it is. But I want to talk to you now a little bit about the stitching that I've been doing in the past couple of weeks, since I've been picking it back up pretty heavily. I will say that I am more of a fall and winter stitcher. I am trying to change that because, like, I would like to get some more stuff on display that's for my house. I enjoy the look of cross stitch. I wouldn't do it. I enjoy the aspect of cross stitching too, but yeah, I would like to have some more stuff on display just for me. And in fact, this piece that I've been working on was one that I started in about 2003. My daughter was still napping, and I used to do it. I used to pull it out and watch TV and work on it during her nap time. And after she stopped napping, I kind of put it away, and I'm just now pulling it back out, sadly. But it's a Gold Collection Petites by Dimensions, called Beautiful Bird. Just a peacock. I really love this. I love the look of it. And I'll show you the progress I've made. I stitch in hand, so that's why there's no kind of frame or anything. But yeah, I've got this much done. All of this, the frame here, and most of the bird was done. So the past couple of weeks, I've mainly been working on this kind of outer edge border here. I really love the way that looks because of the way that they've added some texture and stuff to it with the different amounts of thread and the different colors there. So yeah, I've been working on this a lot, and I'm putting it away for right now because I'm working on a project for my nephew's first birthday, which is next month. And it's actually one that I started again. I'm good at this. I started this last year, and I had hoped to have it for him for a Christmas present, and that didn't work out. So it just got put in a bag, and I was like, I can pull this out and finish it by his birthday. So I'm not going to show it to you, even though he won't care. If there's any chance that his parents will watch this, I would rather them be surprised. I will share the finished work once I've given it to him. But I will show you the colors in it because I think that they're pretty. And it kind of matches the decor in his room. So there's some reds and oranges and yellows. It's DMC floss. I mostly use DMC floss. It's readily available to me. I like the way it stitches up. I've used DMC for as long. It's kind of been my preferred thread. I do have some other threads, some hand-dyed stuff and that, but I just don't. I kind of forget it's there and I don't go to it. So that's a goal for the future. Let me see what else. I have a bunch of works in progress, but I really hate to call them works in progress. I'm not going to call them UFOs yet, but some of these haven't really been stitched on in years. I'm hoping to start bringing them out and into the rotation, and I will share them with you as I get them worked into the rotation. So right now, those 2 stitches are what I'm working on. As soon as I finish the one for my nephew, I'm going to go back to the peacock and make it a hopefully daily stitch, which means that, you know, if nothing else, I'll pull it out and put a few stitches in it. And I'll probably work on some other stuff in the meantime. I'm planning on, as a reward for finishing that, starting on a full art piece. I haven't actually ever done one of those. I have one that I have bought, but, and that was years ago. So it's my daughter laughing in the background. Probably at me. But I have one that I bought years ago that I'd still like to do. It's called the Hermit, and it's the cropped version of it. So it's just kind of the dragon, and he's got his hoard of books there. And I'd still like to do that at some point. I don't know if that's going to be the one that I start with. I might try one with few colors just to kind of get used to the idea of working with that large of a piece. So yeah, I mean, I have plans. I have plans for the future. I will keep you updated. I wanted to give a shout out to all of the FlossTubers out there. Like I said, I'm new to the FlossTubes, and I have, as long as I've been cross stitching, I have learned so much just in the last couple of weeks. And one example I will give is loop start. I have never heard of loop starting. I stitch a lot on 18 count with 2 over 1, so it's fantastic for me. I love being able to just start wherever and not have to worry about catching the threads underneath. And so that's been a huge, it's changed my life. It's changed my stitching life at any rate. So yeah, thank you. I've really enjoyed watching the videos, and I thought, hey, I might as well just jump in. I like the community that I'm seeing, and I'm a fan of being able to connect with other cross stitchers. So yeah, well, I'm gonna call it at that and say thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye.